Listen carefully. This is not just another story about distant stars. This is a message meant for you. Yes, you. The Pleiadians, enigmatic beings that have intrigued countless individuals with their mysterious origins and profound messages, are known for their advanced technology and wisdom. But what if there's a hidden truth about their role in human history that has eluded even the most diligent researchers? Stay with us till the end as we unravel the secrets of the Pleiadians and uncover a startling revelation about their cosmic purpose that might just change your perspective on the universe forever. The Pleiadians. Imagine a constellation so breathtaking, so radiant, that its presence has inspired myths, songs, and dreams across countless civilizations in the universe. This is the Pleiades, often known as the Seven Sisters, a stellar cluster shining about 440 light-years away from Earth. To many observers, these stars are not just distant lights scattered in the heavens. They represent a symbol of hope, wisdom, and universal connection. And here is where it becomes personal for you. The story of the Pleiades is not a far-off legend. It is deeply linked to your spiritual evolution and cosmic origins. Long before the time we now call history, when the universe still seemed youthful, the Pleiades became the home of a remarkable and luminous civilization. These beings were not born in the Pleiades, but were instead refugees from a distant star system near Vega, known as the Mances system. They were a people scarred by the devastating Orion-Lyran wars, who carried the memory of destruction and longed for peace. In their search for refuge, they discovered the Pleiades, a cluster of worlds that offered them sanctuary, safety, and the possibility of renewal. This migration happened millions of years ago, at a moment when Earth itself was still in its raw, primordial state, preparing to cradle life. The Mances refugees traveled in monumental arcs, colossal vessels of light and technology designed to preserve their culture across unimaginable distances. Within these ships, they carried not only their people, but also their knowledge, their sacred traditions, and the seeds of their civilization. Upon arriving, they spread across several planets within the Pleiadian system, shaping them into radiant centers of advanced learning, innovation, and spiritual practice. Their presence transformed the Pleiades into a beacon of progress and wisdom, blending the remnants of an ancient heritage with the birth of a new destiny. As time passed, their descendants, those we now call the Pleiadians, looked beyond their sanctuary toward Earth. Even in humanity's early dawn, as our species began to stretch into awareness, the Pleiadians sensed the planet's significance. They recognized Earth as a seed of immense potential, a place capable of becoming a radiant force in the cosmic order. Their contact with early humans was intentional, guided by a wish to nurture this potential. They shared knowledge, inspired visions, and planted the foundations of spiritual and cultural growth. Though often invisible, their influence touched monumental aspects of our past: the construction of megalithic structures, the shaping of spiritual traditions, and the mysterious leaps in technology and wisdom that still puzzle historians today. Why should this ancient saga matter to you now? Because your connection to the Pleiades may be more personal than you realize. The Pleiadians have always sought to guide those souls ready to awaken, those prepared to remember their higher calling. Perhaps you felt it, that deep pull toward the stars, the sensation that your story stretches beyond Earth. This could be the whisper of a soul memory, a reminder of your link to the Pleiadian lineage. Many who walk spiritual paths, who feel the fire of purpose within, or who long for something greater than ordinary life, often carry fragments of this connection. The Pleiadians are especially attuned to those in awakening, offering gentle guidance and unseen support. Their presence is both ancient and current, reminding you that you are part of a much larger story, one that began among the stars and continues now through you. The 4 original racial groups. Imagine the Pleiades system as a tapestry woven from 4 distinct peoples, each adding a unique color and function to the life of the cluster. 3 of these original groups, the Ahel, the Nur, and the Tal, played central roles in shaping the Pleiadian worlds, while a 4th group, equally important, followed a different path that diverged from the terraforming and cultural evolution we'll focus on here. Each lineage brought its own gifts, and those gifts combined to create the thriving, luminous system that the Pleiades became. The Ahel were famed for their intimate mastery of planetary ecology. As a civilization deeply attuned to living systems, they carried both scientific skill and a devotional relationship with nature. When the task fell to them to bring life to the first 3 planets of the Pleiadian system, the Ahel treated terraforming as an act of sacred craft. Picture yourself as one of these stewards, hands and mind committed to coaxing atmosphere into balance, sequencing the introduction of flora and fauna, and tuning soil, water, and sky until an ecosystem sang in harmony. Their work was not merely functional, it was an expression of reverence. The worlds they shaped reflect that ethic, balanced biospheres that breathe, regenerate, and sustain complex life with an elegance that mirrors the Ahel's values. Your imprint, were you among them, would still be alive in the lush biospheres that now thrive across those planets. The Noor served as the architects, the designers and engineers who translated possibility into enduring form. As a Noor, your days would have been spent planning cities, developing infrastructure, and crafting the technological frameworks that allowed advanced societies to live and interact. The Noor built more than buildings. They devised systems of transportation, energy, communication, and governance that wove communities together. Envision yourself drafting megastructures that respected the land the Ahel had tamed, creating urban ecologies where technology and nature coexisted. Your projects would enable culture to grow. Marketplaces, learning centers, systems for health, and networks that supported both individual and collective flourishing. The Noor's gift was making civilization stable, sustainable, and beautiful. Then there were the Tal, guardians of esoteric wisdom and interdimensional knowing. To be Tal was to be entrusted with truths that extend beyond the 3-dimensional world, techniques of dimensional travel, protocols for maintaining cosmic equilibrium, and custodial duties over knowledge too powerful for unchecked use. Picture yourself as a Tal keeper, devoted to exploring the thresholds between realities, charting safe passageways, and ensuring that interdimensional gateways were used with care. The Tal preserved the lineage's highest teachings and acted as sentinels against destabilizing influences. Their vigilance a crucial counterbalance to the Noor's outward building and the Ahel's deep tending. Their mastery in subtle realms helped shield the fledgling system and allowed the Pleiadians to evolve into more complex densities of being. The mission to render habitable the 3 chosen planets was nothing short of monumental. Of the original 10 planets in the system, only 3 displayed the right combination of conditions to be viable for life as the Pleiadians envisioned it. The Ahel, Noor, and Tal divided responsibilities according to their strengths. The Ahel reshaped atmospheres, introduced a considered palette of life forms, and engineered the ecological scaffolding necessary for long-term flourishing. This meant not just planting species, but composing interdependent relationships between organisms, nutrient cycles, and climatic stability, a living architecture rather than a static garden. When the biospheres were ready, the Noor moved in to lay down the civilizational spine. Cities designed to breathe with the land, technologies that integrated with ecological intelligence, and cultural spaces that fostered creativity and cooperation. The Noor's designs allowed communities to scale without crushing the very environment that supported them. Meanwhile, the Tal worked behind the scenes to secure the system against external disruption, deploying interdimensional protocols and metaphysical safeguards that preserved the Pleiadian balance. Their oversight reduced the risk of contamination, predatory incursions, and energetic imbalances that could unravel the delicate work of the Ahel and Noor. The Pleiades' remote position and its initial sparse population offered a double-edged sword. It shielded the system from the attention of predatory empires such as the reptilian Chiekar, but it also meant fewer allies and slower cultural exchange. Isolation provided a fragile safety, but the Pleiadians could not rely on remoteness alone. To compensate, they accelerated their exploration of higher-dimensional technologies, refining methods of interdimensional transit that allowed them to ascend into 5th-density modalities. This step gave the Pleiadian cultures a new layer of immunity and a broader playground for consciousness expansion. As you attune to this legacy, you are tapping into that interdimensional wisdom and learning to navigate realities beyond the merely physical. Knowing the origins and missions of the Ahel, Nur, and Tal is more than historical curiosity. It's an invitation. The strengths of these groups echo in the human psyche and in your own spiritual wiring. Do you feel the Ahel's call to protect and nurture ecosystems? Is the Nur's urge to design and order your dominant note? Or are you drawn to the Tal's inner path of safeguarding higher knowledge and stewarding thresholds between worlds? Your affinities toward any of these qualities offer a roadmap to how you might participate in the ongoing unfolding of cosmic harmony. Ultimately, the Pleiadian enterprise was not merely about making planets habitable or erecting impressive civilizations. It was a prototype for a way of being, a blueprint for evolution that integrates stewardship, ingenuity, and wisdom. By recognizing and embodying the gifts of the Ahel, Nur, and Tal, you align with a lineage that values balance, sustainable innovation, and protective guardianship. You are invited to pick up the thread of that legacy through environmental action, creative problem-solving, or the pursuit of higher knowledge, and to play your part in the ever-expanding tapestry of the cosmos. Features of the Pleiadian. Imagine standing face-to-face with a Pleiadian. They are far more than distant pinpricks of light. They represent an advanced civilization that radiates both grace and deep wisdom. Picture an individual of remarkable stature, often towering between 7 and 9 feet tall. Their height alone conveys a presence that invites awe and respect. Yet their form is not merely a symbol of physical difference. It is an outward expression of an evolved, refined people. Their complexions are most often pale and luminous, a reflection of adaptation to their celestial environments, though variations occur. Some Pleiadians show gentle blue or green skin tones, a striking sign of diversity that hints at differing energetic lineages and stages of evolution. These delicate hues are less about mere appearance and more about resonance, each shade connecting to particular currents of cosmic vibration. Their hair flows like liquid light, from long, straight golden strands to shimmering silver-white cascades. This luminous mane appears to hold and refract energy, a visible testament to their relationship with light and the radiant forces of the universe. As they move, their hair catches and plays with ambient illumination, producing an effect that is both graceful and otherworldly. This flowing quality suggests adaptability, an ability to pass through dimensional thresholds with elegance and ease. Facially, the Pleiadian countenance blends traits that feel familiar across Earth's indigenous peoples, recalling both Nordic lineages and Asian ancestries in a way that transcends cultural borders. Their features embody a universal beauty that bridges disparate human expressions, hinting at their role as connectors between worlds and cultures. When you meet a Pleiadian gaze, there's a recognition, as if strands of your own ancestry and the broader story of humanity find a mirror there. Myths and spiritual teachings often depict Pleiadians traveling the heavens aboard vessels of light. These ships are not merely crafts. They are expressions of a civilization's integration of high technology and sacred artistry. Imagine boarding one of these vessels. The sensation is of gliding through the fabric of space with effortless fluidity. Inside, the ship is a union of advanced systems and refined aesthetics, a place where engineering harmonizes with sacred geometry and subtle energetic design. These light ships navigate energy fields and dimensional seams, proving the Pleiadians' mastery of interdimensional transit. Their vessels are engineered to resonate with cosmic currents, allowing travel across vast distances without strain or destruction. More than transportation, these ships embody the Pleiadian understanding of the cosmos, instruments for exploration, teaching, and guardianship. At the heart of Pleiadian identity lies a mission deeper than exploration. They act as custodians of wisdom who seek to uplift and support other worlds. Their voyages are driven by purpose, to plant seeds of harmony, to share insights that accelerate growth, and to help civilizations remember their higher capacities. This mission is presented as an invitation rather than an imposition, a gentle call to awaken to fuller expressions of consciousness. Consider how their example might touch your own spiritual path. The Pleiadians embody qualities of grace, intelligence, and interconnectedness that can illuminate personal development. Observing their blend of technological sophistication and soulful presence invites you to balance outer achievement with inner clarity. Their way of being encourages you to cultivate compassion, deeper insight, and luminous service to life. Embracing a fragment of their perspective can reframe how you live in relation to others, nature, and the cosmos, encouraging acts of stewardship, creativity, and courage. In this way, the Pleiadians become a mirror and a teacher for those ready to listen. The crucial nexus in humanity's genetic history. Imagine a planet where the vibrancy of tropical jungles, the untouched majesty of glacial plains, and the awe-inspiring presence of lofty mountain ranges come together in one breathtaking harmony. This is Arahel, a world of abundance and wonder, a cornerstone in the Pleiadian story, and a key location in the early genetic shaping of life on Earth. More than a simple sphere in the cosmos, Arahel is alive with richness, a planet designed to be both a sanctuary and a cradle of experimentation. Its landscapes are woven like a divine tapestry, warm valleys filled with rainforests, temperate grasslands echoing with life, frozen kingdoms of ice and snow, and polar expanses where only the most resilient beings thrive. To walk its surface is to enter a living temple of nature, where every texture and climate reflects an intention of balance and growth. Arahel is structured into 5 primary climatic zones: tropical, tepid, temperate, glacial, and polar. Each carries its own mood, its own ecological story. The tropics pulse with dense canopies where humidity hangs thick and life multiplies in dazzling variety. Vines twist skyward, flowers burst with saturated colors, and exotic species fill the air with calls and movements. Moving into the temperate zones, the atmosphere softens. Rain falls gently, temperatures stay mild, and the greenery is lush but not overwhelming. These regions provide fertile grounds where diverse organisms thrive in comfort. The temperate areas, by contrast, cycle through distinct seasons: summers that brim with warmth, winters of crystalline silence, and autumns aflame with color. This constant change shapes resilience in the life that dwells there. Above and beyond these lie the glacial territories, vast fields of ice and towering snow-clad peaks that shine like mirrors to the stars. They offer a stark, almost spiritual beauty, demanding strength and patience from the beings who inhabit them. At the very edges of the world rest the polar domains, fierce, inhospitable stretches where the cold is nearly absolute. Yet even here life finds a way, hardy, subtle forms of existence adapting to extremes. Together, these 5 climates transform Arahel into an unmatched ecological wonder, a planet where diversity is not scattered but intricately designed. Among those who call Arahel home are the Ahel, one of the central lineages of the Pleiadian civilization. The Ahel are defined by a profound sensitivity to touch and sensation, an adaptation that traces back to their native world of Ashara, known for its unique photonic environment. On Arahel, this heightened sensitivity manifests even more vividly. For the Ahel, skin itself is a sacred instrument. Every nerve and receptor becomes a gateway to deeper awareness. Imagine perceiving not only the temperature of air or the pressure of a hand, but also subtle waves of emotion, intention, and energy flowing from another being or the environment itself. To live in an Ahel body is to live in constant communion with surroundings. The world is felt as much as it is seen. This capacity extends far beyond ordinary perception. Within their brains exists a specialized center that regulates puberty, sensory reception, and the conscious control of epidermal stimulation. By will, the Ahel can activate clusters of receptor cells across their skin, heightening their awareness or deepening intimacy. When they choose to enter states of love or union, the experience transcends biology. It becomes a fusion of body, spirit, and consciousness, a transformative ritual where touch opens portals into higher states of being. In this way, the Ahel clearly distinguish reproduction from love. The former is a biological process, while the latter is a sacred act of transfiguration. The Ahel's gifts shaped not only their own culture but also early human evolution. In collaboration with other stellar groups, including the Anunnaki, remembered in Earth's myths, the Ahel played a pivotal role in genetic experimentation during Earth's formative ages. They imported species from Maya, their ancestral home, planting vegetal and animal lineages upon Arahel, and later influencing the designs that seeded life on Earth. Through careful study of adaptation across Arahel's 5 climates, the Ahel provided models of resilience and diversity. These insights were woven into humanity's genetic code, granting early humans flexibility and adaptability across vastly different environments. Imagine for a moment the Ahel observing a species thrived in Arahel's tropics or survived in its polar extremes, each success offering data that would eventually sculpt human survival traits. Their contribution was not a minor influence, but a cornerstone in the creation of a species capable of both fragility and greatness. Beyond their biology and science, the Pleiadians themselves hold a worldview that profoundly contrasts with Earth's. For them, every child is regarded as a unique emanation of the cosmos, a soul with distinct purpose and potential. From birth, a child's innate gifts are gently observed, not judged but nurtured toward full expression. Education is less about rigid curriculum and more about discovering alignment between one's natural talents and one's soul mission. Children with shared talents gather into specialized academies where training refines their gifts, not for personal glory but for communal contribution. Such institutions are more like sanctuaries of growth than schools, blending mentorship, exploration, and play. Leisure and social life on Arahel reflect the same values. The outdoors is the natural stage for community life. Concerts beneath the stars, collective art, music woven with nature's rhythms, and playful games that highlight cooperation rather than rivalry. Unlike humans who often channel energy into competitive sport, the Pleiadians channel it into expressions of creativity and togetherness. Their activities reinforce bonds and honor individuality without conflict. This focus on collaboration rather than competition reflects their broader cosmic ethos: unity, not division; harmony, not struggle. Yet the Pleiadians are not naive. Though they prefer peace, they recognize the necessity of defense. Many serve in the Federation of Worlds, guardians of justice and freedom across star systems. Their participation in interstellar conflict is not born of conquest but of duty, a willingness to act when values are threatened. In this, they embody balance, spiritual growth coupled with readiness to protect. Their warriors are contemplatives as much as defenders, viewing combat as a necessary last resort rather than a path to dominance. At the core of Pleiadian spirituality lies the understanding of life's immortality. To them, the soul is eternal, a spark of source itself, cycling through forms and dimensions but never ceasing. This knowing shapes their philosophy. Every life, no matter how small, is a reflection of the Creator. Source in their cosmology is not distant but immanent, the very fabric of existence. To recognize oneself as part of Source is to live with humility, reverence, and an unwavering sense of connection. This belief in immortality and unity informs everything from education to intimacy, from governance to leisure. It is why they nurture children so carefully, why they invest in beauty and creativity, and why they defend life with conviction. So why does this matter to you now? Because within the Pleiadian story lies a mirror for humanity. Arahel's ecosystems, the Ahel's sensitivity, and the Pleiadian model of education and community all point to a higher way of living that is not fantasy but possibility. The hidden truth they carry is less about their existence and more about yours. It is the reminder that humanity carries dormant codes, awaiting activation. These codes hold the key to perceiving beyond limitation, to remembering your soul's eternal nature, and to stepping into your role as a co-creator in the cosmic symphony. The Pleiadians cannot activate these codes for you. They can only guide, inspire, and reflect. The work is yours, to listen deeply, to feel beyond the surface of things, and to remember what your spirit already knows. The landscapes of Arahel, the practices of the Ahel, and the values of the Pleiadians are living metaphors, waiting to awaken recognition within you. You too are part of this unfolding. You too are capable of weaving a life that blends creativity, harmony, sensitivity, and strength. As you reflect on Arahel, consider how its 5 climates symbolize the climates of your own soul. Times of growth, balance, transformation, hardship, and endurance. Think of the Ahel's touch not just as their gift, but as a call to heighten your own awareness, to feel life more deeply. Look at Pleiadian education as an invitation to discover your authentic purpose and to nurture it without comparison. Their story is a story of possibility, and within it lies the next chapter of your own. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please hit the like button and leave a comment about how you feel. I appreciate your time, and if you are still with me, please subscribe to our channel. You then receive updates on new videos that will provide you with Pleiadian messages, ancient knowledge, and much more. Your contribution stimulates our cosmic research, and we are incredibly appreciative of your being here. And never forget that we are always here for you and wish you the best possible life, filled with success and happiness. I hope you have an amazing day. If you have watched until the end, please respond with MMM, Master Motivational Mindset, so we can connect.